this session of advanced Excel training, we will learn the Vlookup function so that we can use it in advanced implementation. Excel is one of the greatest and most powerful software which will be depicted through this session by the use of Vlookup command. Now here we have some data in a sorted form where we have the 100 contractors in the column C, and in column D we have the year of experience of each of this contractor, and in column E we have the technical bid score. Now these are the list of the contractor which have a past association of working with us, and based on that we have to select the best contractor to award the contract. So this entire exercise can be done by a single command within a 10 seconds, that is a Vlookup command. So that is a task that we have to do to master the Vlookup command. If we put the entry manually by going to each contractor and then selecting the contractor experience and technical bid score, then it will take hours to complete this. But this exercise can be completed in 10 seconds with the use of Vlookup command. So let us first understand that how to use the Vlookup command. Once we understand the Vlookup command, we can also proceed to understand the HLOOKUP command, which is similar to the Vlookup command. Here also, based on the year of experience of this contractor, we have to select their certain category, that is like contractor G having experience of 1 year. We need to find its all the values of different category, which is turnover, project executed, total asset, employee strength. Even this task, which if we do manually will take hours to complete it. We have to go to each horizontal row and then we have to see the value. Based on that we have to move to another row and we have to find the value against each category. It cannot be done manually. Again, within 10 seconds we can do it by the use of HLOOKUP command. Now let's understand the Vlookup command first. Now this is a database of top 100 contractors in which we have the organization name from A1 to A100, the rating of the organization, the past growth rate of the organization, the number of employee of the organization, the annual turnover, and the employee to turnover ratio. Now suppose you have applied in this top 100 organization for the job, and in this 5 organization you have received the offer letter. Now you have to select one of the organization based on the 3 category, that is first one, most priority is employee to turnover ratio, then the growth rate, and then the rating. Now if you do it manually, you have to go to each contractor and then you have to identify the values and then you have to put in this cell, which will take again hours. Now here you observe one thing, there is a certain value in the column against which we require the other value. So that's mean we have some input and we require some output which is available in some table. Now exactly this is a situation where we can apply Vlookup command. Now let's see how to apply it. Vlookup command, when you apply, the first thing it's asked that what value you want to look at. So you want to look at the input. So A34 here is the value at which we want to look at. Now where you want to look at? We want to look at this value in this table. So the first column of the table must have this value. That's why we have selected the first column and then we dragged it to select the entire table, because this is very important. The first column of the table must have this lookup value. So now you can see we have this table in which this lookup value is there. Now once the system look at this value, what output you want to give, this is given by the column index number. Now we want the employee to turnover ratio. So column index number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 is the output based on the input in the first column. So we will use false or exact match. Now you see what Excel is doing. It's looking up the input which is A34 in the K column it's looking this value into the table, whose first column must be having this value, and then it is giving the output based on the column index number. Now based on this, in an instant we get the value of employee to turnover ratio for the A34. Now we will freeze the table using the dollar sign which we have already learned, and then we will apply this formula by dragging the formula downward to all the 5 contractors, so that we can select that which have the best employee to turnover ratio. So top 3 we will selecting this, so we will select the top 3 category. Now within the few seconds this formula has automatically looked at the value of the input, and based on the table it has given the certain output. Now let us again apply the Vlookup to get the growth rate. Now what is the lookup value? The contractor name is the lookup value. Now what is the table? Now table is the one which has the first column having the lookup value, and then we can stretch it such that the output which we require must be included in the table. So here output required is the growth rate. Now we have the table. Now to get this output required, we need to provide the column index number. So 1, 2 and 3. So 3 is the column index number. That's mean it will look at the value in the table and will give the output of column 3, and only give once it exactly matching. So we also get the growth rate. Now again by using the dollar sign we will freeze the table, because if we do not freeze the table, when we move it downward the table will also move, which we do not want. The table is fixed, so you'll put the dollar sign and drag it downward, so that you will get the growth rate for each of the contractor, and then you can select the top 3 contractor. So we will select the top 3 contractor based on the growth rate. So again within few seconds Vlookup command has helped us to get the growth rate of the contractor without manually searching. So basically Vlookup eliminates the manual searching of the data. Now same command we will apply for the rating. Now here again the lookup value which we want to take as an input is the organization name. The table, again first we have to select the column which have the lookup value, and then we will extend the table such that it has that column in which our output is stored. Now the output required is rating, which is 1, 2. So the column index number is 2. Column index number 1 is always the one in which the lookup value is there. This point to be noted and to be clearly understand. Again we will freeze the table by using a dollar sign. When we drag it downward we will get the rating, and in this way we can identify the top 3 rating of the contractor. So by doing this exercise we can clearly see that A46 has all the 3 category in green, and hence we can select this. So that's how the Vlookup had made the entire data analysis a very easy job. Once you have the command over it, within the 30 seconds you will be able to perform this exercise, whereas manually doing it will take hours. And we will implement this Vlookup in a very advanced way when we will be creating a project information, project management tool in the Excel, where we will be implementing Vlookup to get more advanced results and the data analysis. Now what you have to do to master this command is to get to this exercise, read the instructions, and you have to use the Vlookup command in cell H9 and I9 to get the contractor which can be awarded with the contract based on the certain condition. So we already have a list of the contractor. You have to just put the lookup value to find its experience and technical bit, and then the way we selected the organization, you have to select the contractor by yourself.